Okay, I am Nick, NICKYA991, and today we are going to be going over my Smith & Wesson MP 1522 LR. Just going to show you the upgrades I got for the weapon. All upgrades were bought off eBay, very inexpensive, and the parts work, I would say, just as best as any other thing else. So, first things first, I took the rear iron sight off, which is right here. That's the old sight. Just took it off. Picked up a Trigicon ACOG replica scope. It was only $50. Okay, it works good. It's got green and red dots. Let's see if I can show you. Turn on. Let's see. That's the red, and then it's got also has green. Let's see it. Scope is decent. You kind of got to mess around with it for a bit to get it right on the money. Just kind of try and level it out with your front scope or your front sight here, and it works pretty well. So the buttstock is got 6 settings. The charging handle, stock, did not do anything with it. What I did do was take a crayon and I just crayoned all it in, get a white crayon. Use rem oil. You could use a regular old-fashioned rag, or you can use the little rem wipes they give you, and just keep wiping it in and checking it to make sure it's all nice and there's no holes or cracks with that. And I got the red crayon out for the safe. It's this original buttstock or pistol grip that came with the gun. The upper and the lower, everything's stock. Didn't do anything with it. What I did get was the UTG grips. Comes in, I think, of a set of 12, and those were, I would say, $15, I believe, with shipping and everything for these UTG. Actually, they do kind of add a little weight to the gun, so I would have rather gotten the rails, the grip rails that just go over. Picked up the flashlight, also off of eBay. It's an LED. Okay, that was only $15 also. Picked up this bipod. Because our magazines are so large, this actually does work well because it does extend. Right now it's at 9 inches, and it goes out to 12, and you tighten it up and it's good. Folds down like that. And this was $20. I can go back up and just spin this, push it in, and as you're holding it in, you gotta spin it tight. Mess around with that later. I did pick up a barrel shroud. Barrel shroud was for it's an NC Star barrel shroud for a Ruger 1022. Once you first get it, it won't fit the 22 barrel. I believe our barrel outside diameter is a .67, and the Rugers are .92. And what you gotta do is take a Dremel tool with the coarse ground. The color is like red-brown. It's used for sharpening drill bits and stuff. You sit there, you go in and out, in and out. It took me about a half an hour, but this does get very hot. So put it in a vise with a rag, not tight. It's tight enough so it won't move on you. And then you got to remember, when you put this on, if you have a Dremel tool, I'm sure you'll have the sanding wheel. Sanding wheel fits perfect in there, because if you don't sand it after you're done boring it, it will scratch the outside of the barrel when you want to take it off. It's actually a set screw on the bottom, and you have to remember always to put Loctite on that set screw, or this will fall off. I shot 100 rounds out of it, nothing happened, and that's all I shot out of it. Okay, so far, and this was $10. I think it was $2 shipping. On the other side of our weapon, I picked up this was actually $15 for this little clip. It goes right on your mount. You just tighten it down, and this strap was $11. It's not the best strap, but it works, and it's better than carrying it at all times. And lastly, I picked up the grip that has the bipod that comes out. You just push the button, you push it up, and then you push the button in, and that gives you a little miniature bipod for whatever. It just doesn't fit with our large magazine. It only fits with the small magazine. That's why I had to pick up this bipod. The next thing I bought, well, I bought 2 scopes at once for maybe a different rifle, but this MOA scope, it's a red dot. I actually like this one better, but I just like the way the ACOG looks on it. Let's see if I can't turn it on for you. Oh, you know what? Let's see, I'll turn it on. And this scope was $50. And it's kind of hard to see with the camera, but you got your red dot in there. Turn it back to 0. So this scope was $50, this was $50, but basically with the gun set right now, where I live, the gun was $479, and it came with this magazine here, which is a 10-round magazine. And so totally, to make my gun look like this, which I believe it looks a lot better than bone stock, but it does add a good amount of weight. And obviously it's going to be a lot more front heavy than rear heavy. That's why I moved the scope back a little bit to kind of counterweight that. I also did the crayons. You can use crayons and rim oil, and it comes out clean just like that. The trigger is stock. I want to get a 3-pounder on there, and then hopefully invest in the Surefire buttstock, which is $350. It's almost like, alright, do you want a fully automatic gun that you can barely even control? Most of the time you have to shoot from your hip. It's really not fun, what I've seen. But if you want to have your gun fully automatic and don't have to pay all the extra money to the state to convert it, it's a good thing to buy. But for $350, I'd say I'd rather go buy another gun. Yeah, that's about it. So I figure a total, we had our $20 bipod, our $10 barrel shroud, so that's $30. This was $15, $45. The light was, I'm thinking the light was $20, so it's $55. These were $15. This UTG grips, so $70, and this ACOG scope, $50. That's $120, and yeah, so $120 in accessories, and you can make your gun semi-cool, more tactical. But I did buy this scope, which is another $50, but I just don't include it simply because I could put it on my other guns or whatever. I just like, this looks actually cooler, but and works better than this. This is actually a Chinese-made one. So yeah, that's it. I'm Nick, and you could have your gun looking like this by simply buying eBay parts for around $120, and you got yourself a cool little rifle. And it's fun to shoot, accurate, and that's it. Alright, thanks for looking.